Am I the asshole for letting you know I am divorcing you by sending you a thread on the website that you used to ignore me? Sit back. This one's juicy. We shall see. Hi, Stefan. Maybe you will finally listen. And if you're wondering if you can just speed home and stop me from doing this and leaving, it's too late. I'm sending you this after I've already loaded everything in the car and left. Don't worry, I spoke with our landlords and took my name off the lease. I set up a direct deposit for next month's rent, and after that, you're on your own, buddy. I guess you're wondering why. I'm guessing you act like you're completely blindsided, right? Because you've done absolutely nothing wrong and you're a great husband and father to be, aren't you? Well, buddy, let me break it down for you in a language you understand. Damn. I, 29 female, have been married to my husband, 35 male, for 5 years, and we've been together for nearly 10. On paper, everything seemed fine, but in reality, our marriage has been anything but. I've reached my breaking point and need to know if I'm the one in the wrong here. From the beginning, my mother-in-law was a nightmare, or has been a nightmare. She made everything about her from day one. At our wedding, she wore white, claiming it was a family tradition. It wasn't. She constantly criticizes me from my cooking to my appearance. I'll never forget the time she called me fat at a family gathering, right in front of everyone. And what did my husband do? Nothing. Not a single word to defend me. It didn't stop there. She had accidentally destroyed my belongings, including my grandmother's necklace, which she threw out because it looked like cheap costume jewelry. She's gone out of her way to make me feel small and unwelcome in my own home. But every time I tried to talk to my husband about it, he'd brush it off, saying I was overreacting or being too emotional. That will boil my skin. And then there's my husband. He's always on Reddit, constantly giving strangers relationship advice, which is laughable considering how he treats me. He spends more time rating women's boobs on Reddit than talking to me. Literally, and just so you know, the last pair he rated weren't a 4 out of 10, they were a 10 out of 10. Yeah, he got plenty of time to do that, but can't be bothered to remember anything about my life. He'll forget my birthday, our anniversary, even simple things like I'm working on and what's important to me. But he has perfect memory for his work schedule and things that matter to him. When we fight, he becomes incredibly hostile and always throws in a sarcastic "buddy" at the end of his sentences, like I'm some acquaintance he can barely tolerate. And he never cleans. The house, the dishes, laundry, you name it. It's all on me. It's like he thinks being an adult is optional as long as he got a job and his Reddit account. The final straw came a few weeks ago. I'm 5 months pregnant with our first child, a daughter. My mother in law started making comments about how she'll have to whip the girl in shape and how she'll raise her to be tough because I'm too soft. When I told my husband that I didn't want his mother to have too much influence on our daughter, especially with the way she treats me, he just laughed it off, saying his mother means well and that I was overthinking it. I applaud you for upping and leaving because I would have wanted to fight. I would have wanted to fight because no, you don't play. Don't play. You whip who into shape. You putting hands on whose child? I don't care who you are. Talk to me if there's an issue with something. Don't you dare ever think you will put your hands on my child and make it to see the next day. But the moment that truly broke me is when we started talking about future childcare, and my husband suggested that his mother, the one that wants to abuse the child, should watch our daughter while we work. I told him I wasn't comfortable with that, especially considering how his mother treats me, and he snapped. He called me paranoid and said I should get over it because his mother was going to be a big part of our daughter's life, whether I like it or not. Yeah, that would have been a breaking point for me too. It's not me telling you that I do not like your mother didn't treat me right. Your mother's disrespectful. You do not have my back. And I have a fear of what she will be doing to my child, our child, while you want to have her in your care and you're telling me I'm paranoid and need to get over it. Granted. Or not even granted. Got it. I'm out. I'm out. This is the same woman who believes corporal punishment is okay. I've seen her hit my husband's nephew for the smallest things, and no one does anything about it. It's like they're all living in some kind of cult, and I'm finally waking up to the reality of what's going on. If he wouldn't stand up for me, how would I expect him to stand up for our child? I started to fear for what kind of environment our daughter would grow up in. A place where she might be belittled or bullied by her own grandmother with a father who wouldn't do anything to stop it. Oh, and did I mention that he missed our first ultrasound? His mother needed him to help her with something urgent. It turned out to be fixing her Wi-Fi. He chose that over seeing our daughter for the first time. He told me everything I needed to know about where I stand in his life. So I packed up and left. I'm done living like this. Oh, and in the case you're wondering, I've already contacted a lawyer. You can't scare me into complying anymore because I have all those texts. You know exactly which ones I'm talking about. So, Stefan, I wish you all the best in your future marriage with your mother and the woman of Reddit whose boobs you don't deserve. Am I the asshole for leaving my husband after he neglected me for years? Let his mother mistreat me and made me fear for our future daughter's safety. No, you did exactly what you're supposed to do. And I feel like a lot of women wish they can do what you do or what you did. They wish they can because they see a lot of these men, you see that they're going to be a shitty father. Half of them are shitty husbands as it is now. I'm not going to be sitting here thinking about I'm going to go into, if he doesn't clean, cook, help me take care of the house now, what am I expecting to happen when I have a kid? And a lot of women are sitting there watching this man go to work, sit his ass on the couch, clap a few beers every night with his friends, and I'm going to willingly lay down, get pregnant, have a baby, and think he's going to be the father of the year? That man has never lifted a broom to sweep that kitchen. He has never lifted a mop to mop that floor. He has never scrubbed that toilet or that tub. I'm going to think he's going to start helping me when we have kids? Absolutely not. So I applaud you for packing your shit up and getting on. Especially, no, corporal punishment, you're not going to hit my child. Absolutely not. If we don't, that's not the type of discipline that we're doing in my household, you put your hands on my child, you should expect to lose that hand. There's a tiny update. A good update, I guess. Stefan has seen this post. He is mad that apparently one of you found him based on the rate my boobs thing. Oh, so he be rating a lot of boobs. He has deleted his account, and for any purposes, I want to clarify that I left out any actual incriminated information that could lead to doxing him. Any and all people who have pretended to know me or have any incriminated information about me are lying. I am not from South Carolina. I'm not moving in with another guy, and I also am not sleeping around. You ain't got to explain to anybody. You don't have to explain nothing to anybody. You're in the interest of protecting your child, which is what you want to do. You sound like you're going to be better off by yourself than living with Stefan and his controlling ass mom that he can't back you up behind. Because that's one thing I must, love my mother-in-law to death. If there was a situation where she would have stepped out of place and came, I would say I've never experienced that with my mother-in-law. She's amazing. She is God sent. But if there was a situation, my husband would say something. Wholeheartedly. Same thing with me. If my mother steps out of line, that's it. I don't got time because at the end of the day, it's me and my husband. This two heads is going to be on that pillow or them pillows at night. We're going to be cuddled up and our baby's going to be in that room and we're cooking, cleaning, taking care of our house, taking care of our kids together. So if I don't feel comfortable with anybody being around our children, they're not going to be around our children. Point blank, period. So I applaud you for doing what you had to do to protect your sanity and your future baby.